The Cubs lost Sunday, but won the series against the Orioles for their third straight series victory before heading out to Pittsburgh tonight. What was the most encouraging thing you saw over the weekend at Wrigley Field?
Well, I thought there was a lot of encouraging things over the weekend. I suppose if you have to pick one thing, it's the run scoring. It's Christopher Morel with the home runs, but it's generally speaking, they're putting up massive numbers, right? I mean, there had been this struggle at one point to get runs of any kind, and they were relying kind of solely on the pitching. And now we're seeing them really. What did they had like 28 runs against Pittsburgh. They scored 10 runs the next day. I mean, you don't see people putting up runs like that, or at least you didn't see the Cubs doing that. And so they've solved a lot of the problems that had stymied them at one point. I think their run production, obviously there were some great pitching performances too, and it was great to see Justin Steele back. But I'm going with run production.
Well, I'm going to actually go with what you just said there, Mully, a second ago, recapping it all, is Justin Steele.
Yeah.
We all were concerned, some of us more than others. I kind of originally shrugged my shoulders because at the old, he spoke after the game, but he did still miss some time.
Yep.
And he ended up out there, and he looked really good. I mean, listen, the Orioles are a good team. That's a good team that the Cubs just took 2 out of 3 from. So you got to be happy about that. You mentioned the offense. Yesterday, only 3 hits, but the power is still there. And the pitching and defense continues to be good enough. But for me, if it's one thing, it was the return of Justin Steele.
I think that's a good call because when you have Stroman, Steele, Hendricks, then you've got a pretty predictable top 3 of your rotation. Jameson Taillon still has some issues. I think we saw that yesterday. I think that overall the starting pitching will be pretty good. So that was maybe the biggest sign in terms of an individual. Collectively, the offense, I think, is one of those things where you look at their run production and how are they doing it. Heading into yesterday, they were like the most productive 8-game stretch of the season. They were 7-1. Only 11 of the previous 51 runs they had scored in that stretch came courtesy of the home run. It was the lowest home run rate in the majors, which suggests and tells you how deep their lineup has been 1 through 9 and how much they're producing runs. They got some old-fashioned runs when they won on Saturday. They stole a game resourcefully. They got a drop third strike. They score a couple runs there. Then they score the go-ahead run, the winning run, the old-fashioned way by getting a guy on second, moving him over, then bringing him in with the sac fly. And Mike Tauchman has been a revelation too. So there's a lot of encouraging signs for the Cubs.